Hey everyone, First Order here, and welcome back to another Star Wars video. Now in this one we'll be discussing LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga and new gameplay mechanics revealed at E3 in private demo booths. Now, a bunch of stuff has been revealed through people like behind the stage. Basically reviewers from news articles or YouTubers that saw gameplay footage in a private booth behind closed doors. So more and more news about LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga is dropping from E3, specifically from a private demo booth. And we know a lot more about the gameplay aspects. Yesterday I talked about 5 features we need in LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, so if you haven't checked that video out, be sure to check it out after this video. Anyway, let's dive right into the news and talk about LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. First off, let's begin talking about grunts and voice lines. Yesterday I said grunts need to be in the game, and well, voice lines will be default in LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. They are getting a cast to voice the characters and will be stripping dialogue from the films. However, there will be a feature to disable talking and enable grunts. So it will be the best of both worlds for whichever one you like. Usually the older LEGO game fans who played LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga at release tend to like grunting more because that's what they grew up with, while newer fans like voice lines because that's what they grew up with. Both are fine, and now you'll be able to customize whichever you would like to play in the Skywalker Saga, which is always good news. Next, let's begin by talking about the open world aspects of the Skywalker Saga. In the Complete Saga, you started out in the Cantina and went to whichever episode you wanted and played whichever mission you wanted. While in LEGO The Force Awakens, you could either go to a galaxy map, play missions by selecting a planet, or going to that planet yourself in the planet's hub and select the mission there. However, on each planet there was always one hub-like area which you could look around. In LEGO The Force Awakens, these hubs were really big for their time, compared to the small cantina we had in the Complete Saga. LEGO The Skywalker Saga takes the best of both worlds and combines them into an open world type gameplay. From reading into it and reading people's description of it, there's going to be a starting select screen where you select whichever episode you want. However, this could be just a little placeholder. The game is still in development. We don't know when in 2020 it will be releasing. For all we know, it could be releasing December 2020, which I wouldn't like, but I'm hoping for a summer release or a spring release so that it's closer in the year, so we don't have to wait as long. But basically, the demo tester started out in Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. So they select Return of the Jedi, and you start out wherever you left off in that episode. In the demo, he started out in the Millennium Falcon above Tatooine. This is where the open world part of the Skywalker Saga comes in. The demo tester had a Super Star Destroyer come out of hyperspace and attack him. He had to dodge the attacks and TIE fighters and land on the planet. He did reveal that there are multiple places he could land on Tatooine. It is not a seamless transition, however. There is a loading screen when loading onto a planet, sadly. But he landed near the Pit of Carkoon and began continuing his playthrough of Return of the Jedi, just like LEGO The Force Awakens. However, the demo showed dozens of other options for side missions. He didn't play any of them, but there were people on the side of the screen that were able to do a side mission, just like the LEGO Force Awakens. But currently it is you select whichever episode 1 through 9, and then that takes you into the game. I'm hoping that they would change this into a hub cantina, which you could just, walk into an episode 1 and then boom, you're in episode 1 and you can do whatever you want in the galaxy in the time of the Phantom Menace. But anyway, open world exploring will work like LEGO The Force Awakens, except expanded by 10, making 20 planets fully explorable in-game with a galaxy map to choose which planet you'd like to go to. Yes, 20 planets. In LEGO The Force Awakens, it only allowed 4 from my knowledge: Starkiller Base, Dakar, Takodana, and Jakku. So making 20 planets fully explorable is a massive step up. They're definitely going to be taking it from the Clone Wars sequels and originals like Hoth, Dagobah, Endor, Tatooine, Kamino, Geonosis, Kashyyyk, Mustafar, Jakku, Dakar, Crate. It's just going to be a ton of planets in one galaxy that you can go to whenever you want. So for example, let's say you're starting out Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, except you want to explore Hoth. Go to Hoth, do some missions, and come back to start Tatooine and start the more linear campaign of Return of the Jedi whenever you like. It's literally open world but LEGO, which is a huge improvement compared to the Complete Saga where everything is linear and tends to get a little bit boring, for me at least, because I've played that game so much. I have so many hours in that game, so You know, it's a little bit boring for me now because I've done everything in that game and there's nothing much really to do. But anyway, now let's talk about more of the actual gameplay. The combat has been completely revamped. Instead of classic games being more of a button masher instead of combos, the Skywalker Saga gets rid of button mash and now focuses on action combos. So for example, lightsaber combat, instead of mashing X until everyone is dead, you may want to rely more on a strategic style. The auto-lock system has also been removed. With lightsabers and blasters in the past game, all you would have to do is look at your enemy, press X, and they would die. Now you have to be more precise. With blaster characters in LEGO The Force Awakens, all you have to do is hold down X and like a little target would come up on the screen and you can like choose what you want to shoot. From my understanding, it's going to be a little bit more like that, but a lot easier because that was difficult to just, you know, if like there's 3 enemies right in front of you, you have to hold X and you have to target each one while they're shooting at you. So they're definitely going to improve on that system. Regarding the Force, in the past games, you'd see objects with red or blue particles, meaning Jedi or Sith can open this, or build this. You'd use the Force and you'd build a bridge, turret, etc. It was always Force as to what would happen. Now the Force works actually more like the Force Unleashed, which is actually really surprising for a LEGO game, where you could use the Force on other objects and throw them at your enemy. You couldn't do that in the complete saga, or even LEGO The Force Awakens. Of course, I'm sure you can still use the Force to build bridges like in the past, but if you're fighting a group of people and someone throws a grenade at you, or you see a Lego or like, you know, something next to you, you can use the Force to pick that up and throw it at the enemy, which is a huge improvement compared to the LEGO The Force Awakens and the complete saga. Another thing that has been completely revamped is the camera. Usually these games, the camera is positioned in a wide shot showing the whole area around your character, basically not looking down at them, but looking at them in a way. If you play the games, you know what I'm talking about. But this time it's more of a third-person perspective, making it more three-dimensional and giving the LEGO games a much-needed fresh look to them. It's more of an over-the-shoulder type camera position that will add a lot more depth to a LEGO game. Like the complete saga, LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga basically starts a new generation of LEGO games. It's a completely new engine, built up from scratch LEGO game compared to others that's kind of like they copy details here and there from other LEGO games, but this game is going to be probably the most impressive LEGO game ever made. They talked about having the Superstar Destroyer that I talked about earlier above Tatooine was actually built, and it's photocopied into the game in real life. Like, they build these ships and they kind of just put them into the game. They talked about that. They said that every ship in this game was copied from a real life model. Like in the past with a group single player mission, you'd need C-3PO to open this door, R2-D2 to open this door, but with this game it's a lot more complex. They talk about following this Gonk droid, and to understand the Gonk droid you need to turn into C-3PO. So you would turn into C-3PO, listen to the Gonk droid, and then say what the Gonk droid said to the other main characters. This game is a lot more complex compared to past LEGO games, especially the complete saga. It's like a night and day compared to what they have created with the Skywalker Saga. It truly is going to be this new generation of LEGO games, and this is going to be the start of it. So in conclusion, what we know so far about LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga in terms of gameplay is optional grunt invoice lines depending on what you like more, a new engine for exploring worlds and allowing the player to be more of an open world game instead of a single player missions, a new camera giving a new look onto the LEGO game, and a complete rework of Force abilities and a fighting style. LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga is getting a lot more hype than Jedi Fallen Order, which is somewhat surprising, but at the same time it's not, considering most of the people alive like right now who are really into YouTube and like really vocal on social media are the teenagers and like young adults who played the complete saga when they were a kid. So it is somewhat of a meme. Like I saw one of the Ratatouille when at the end of Ratatouille when he like eats the food and it brings him back to his childhood self. It's really that. That's why people are more excited for LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga than Jedi Fallen Order, or even updates on Battlefront 2. It's literally it's literally our childhood. It's my childhood as well. Like people like Star Wars fans' childhoods dream to have the updated HD Star Wars LEGO game with every episodic film in one game again. With also updated minifigures, I played the complete saga on the Wii with my little brother a couple hours ago, and just like looking at some of the figures, it's really like it's funny. Like Jedi Knight Luke from episode 6, he's like completely blonde, and like it's just looking at the minifigures from that game to the Force Awakens minifigures, it's completely insane. Anakin Skywalker's haircut, like you know, Darth Vader's look, Emperor Palpatine's look, everyone's had a massive improvement in the past, 10 years? It's been longer than 10 years. The complete saga came out before Disney owned it. My brother asked, where's BB-8? Like, that game came out before all this existed. And now we're gonna get a game with everything. So that's something to look forward to. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, drop a like, blast a like, and all of that good stuff. And if you're new, be sure to stick around, subscribe, hit the notification bell, everything, comment down below, like, share, the whole 100 yards of everything. Anyway, if you're new, consider subscribing to me for all things Star Wars. Anyway, this is the First Order, signing out.
Got a target, watch out!